We spend some time trying to decide what the macro goal is for each person in the room. But the basic question I put to people is, what do you want to be famous for? What do you want to be famous for? Now, not like Lady Gaga or Kardashian or someone like that. Is what is it that you want your clients or your audience or your customers to say about you after you have left them, or when they're in the Starbucks and someone is looking for a referral and they say, hey, David is a really good interviewer and he works really well with people in building relationships and building branding, etc. If you want to build a brand, I think you need to be clear as to what that brand is going to be. So the first question, the macro goal, is what do I want to be famous for? Then I say to my group, all right, we've asked that question. Where I say, I'm not going to ask you what your answer is. You've got to decide that. But I will now provide you with 5 micro goals that help you to achieve that macro goal. And again, one of the tricks I use for speaking, Dave, is that I use acronyms. So the gift of GAB is an acronym, goals, attitudes, behavior. The micro goals spell the acronym C.H.A.P.S, C.H.A.P.S. So I can say during my presentation, okay, chaps, I'm going to give you 5 micro goals. And then I might go something like, what? There's women in the audience as well. Oh, okay. Oh, chaps and C.H.A.P.S, okay? Right. But what I want to do is just concentrate on chaps here. And the 5 micro goals that you can use and implement that will help you to achieve your macro goal are the following. Now, the basic idea is that if I achieve a micro goal, I feel slightly better. And if I achieve another micro goal, I feel slightly better. So my theory now is that I'm going to provide you chaps with 5 micro goals that will make you feel slightly better, but will also build a connection with your audience. So the first micro goal is, I'm sure, Dave, you agree that when someone compliments you, you feel better. Yeah? Okay, all right, always. So I've walked through that for a little bit in my work on presentations, but basically the micro goal is, have a micro goal that today I will compliment one of my team. I'll compliment one of my customers or vendors. Now what happens? Because I've set it as a micro goal, I hear myself complimenting that one person. The neurotransmitters, dopamine pops in for me, I feel slightly better. But you sure as heck can appreciate that the compliment is going to make that other person, team member or customer feel better as well. So it's a win-win situation. And very briefly, I do get questions sometimes about, well, it's not always that easy to compliment people. And I say, okay, I agree with that. And then I throw out the line, look, you can always find some way to compliment people. You could say something like, wow, your hair doesn't look as bad today as it did yesterday. Something like that. But that's goofball. But what I'm doing there, though, is kind of using that piece of humor just to reinforce the power of the compliment. That's another example of where I'm using the power of humor.